second day in the Madigan. Unfortunately, I found out today that my battery setup doesn't work that well when only slow crawling. So far, I hadn't tried it, crawling the whole day, and Tasmania, Tassie really, it was fairly cool. So what I think is happening, because my battery now is pretty much, if the fridge is on, at 12.1, which is not good. So even though driving the whole day, I'm running my auxiliary battery empty. So yeah, what I think it is that the charger, the DC to DC charger, which is under the bonnet, is too hot, and then pretty much it cuts down the output. So I don't get more than 3-4 amps really into the auxiliary battery, which is not enough, given that I have obviously the iPads on, I charge the drone, the fridge when it's running, and it's fairly warm, so it's running most of the time, uses 3 amps. Yeah, not good.
The Hay River is an ancient river system that runs down into the Simpson Desert. Where Madigan set Camp 16 is probably coming towards the end of that system. There's lots of beautiful vegetation, there's these beautiful eucalypt trees, and Camp 16 is probably the most famous because that's where Madigan did his blaze tree, his M with the 39, so M for Madigan and 39 of the year of the crossing. He picked out the biggest eucalypt that he could find and carved that in. Today that tree has now got lots of light plaques and little motifs and boxes with messages and all of that sort of stuff. The actual blaze of the M39 is now, the bark's regrown back around it, and you can just see the slit where it's rejoined, where it used to be. Oh my.
Protein?
Said to the lady that swallowed a fly. The other notable event at Camp 16 was the botanist, Crocker, shot a bush turkey. And, today, our bush turkeys, they're kind of about this big, they're not overly big, but they got a picture of Crocker coming back to the bush turkey, and I swear to God, it is the biggest bush turkey I've ever seen. Its wingspan is like out like this. Anyways, Madigan notes in his diary, so that single bush turkey fed all of them that night, that party of 9, and also did their lunch the next day.
The DC to DC charger was located behind the driver's front light and just didn't get enough airflow during that slow crawling. So opening the bonnet at every stop helped to cool down the charger.
So much nicer to drive than the QEA, French line, rig, all that. You can tell people haven't stuffed them up with high tire pressures and towing. It's much more pleasant to drive, isn't it?
Yeah, can only wholeheartedly agree, mate. It's such a pleasure in comparison to the French last year, which was really just a pain. So yeah. In his diary, Madigan made note about the way his companions slept, and it's interesting how each person dealt with their particulars against the desert cold. Jack Beja needed clean ground, so the highest, hardest and barest ground he could find. Madigan often joked that a slab of concrete would have been his ideal. Nouri followed suit. Andy often camped a little away from the others, always with his own little fire and bed made from bushes, always under, but sometimes over the bush. Albert the cook slept close to the fire, surrounded by his equipment. Radio operator Simpson used to dig up a mound of sand, created a hollow on the top and sleep in it. Crocker, Fletcher and Madigan slept on the outskirts, the edge of the camp, preferring areas of clean sand. If it was wet, they would lay down brushwood to raise them off the ground a little. The markers we see were placed in 1994 by David Owen and Robert Correra, who extensively researched Madigan's crossings and then recreated it and placed the markers. As one of my Jerrys had a little dribble leak, I decided to empty it into the tank. Sunday around 2 o'clock we caught up with Dan and his client at Camp 15, and now we just between Camp 13 and 12. We met one other group of 5 vehicles, and supposedly they saw a big King Brown at Camp 12, so I don't know, maybe be lucky and see her again. Otherwise, track certainly has gotten a bit rougher, but the dunes are still very moderate, nothing challenging whatsoever. So something blinking, first piece of rubbish we have seen here, or I have seen on the Scotty and his mighty patrol ascending one of the dunes. Madigan Camp 13. As Dan had a client with him and a different pace, we travelled in 2 separate groups, Dan and his client, and Scotty and myself. Sometimes we caught up again during the day, but always at night for camp. Tonight's camp was on one of the big clay pans, which also was noted by Madigan. Just a word of caution. While we may make this look like a walk in the park, and the Madigan line by all means is not a very challenging trek if you have desert experience and a well-prepared vehicle, it definitely is very remote country and you need to be 100% self-sufficient and well-prepared. At this stage in 2018 you cannot compare it with the French line, the Rig Road or the Q&A. On the Madigan line you may not see another vehicle for days or even weeks, depending on the time of the year. There is no mobile phone reception, and any recovery in case of a breakdown would be very, very expensive. Spending between 9 and 15 days in the desert without any support or restocking option requires thorough planning in regards to water, food, shelter and spare parts. Please also keep in mind, daytime temperatures, even in winter, can be well above 30 degrees, but at night time it is not unusual that the temperatures drop below 0 degrees. While the terrain on the main track is not very hard, however it is punishing on your vehicle, and given that you will be quite likely heavy, it will require a well-maintained and suitable suspension and a well-serviced and looked after four-wheel drive. Hey guys, we are here at the Madigan clay pan on day 4. The third night just behind us, the freshest night so far, but yeah, all good. Beautiful sunrise I just looked at from the dune and looking forward to what the day brings. I couldn't really travel without my jet boil anymore. I discovered that a few years ago, and since then I pretty much use it solely to create hot water. It's super quick and gives me a good nice coffee in the morning. Noticed some funny noises yesterday while driving and jumped under the vehicle and found the issue. What happened, Dan?
The issue is that the retaining bolt for the sway bar on the right hand side at the front, as the nuts obviously come loose and the bolt has gradually worked itself loose and must have popped sometime yesterday along the track, because the sound was very sporadic, so that must have been while the bolt was still holding the sway bar in place.
Yeah.
And then it started to happen a lot more, so that's obviously when the bolts popped and then the sway bar's banging. So at the moment we're just trying to find another bolt to put back in, and a nut, which we may well have. And then I think we're going to probably use a little hydraulic jack to push the sway bar back into position, put the bolt through, tighten it up, and hopefully it'll all be rosy after.
What about that long one there? That one? No.
This one?
Yeah.
Too fat, I think, isn't it? Just too fat.
Maybe just too long.
Let's have a look, so you've got to see how far it's going to poke out the other side.
Yes.
You know, I might just get away with that actually. Do you want to give me a second pair of eyes?
Yeah.
See if we think that bolt will...
I don't know whether we get enough force on there. If we clamp that from the top, push it a bit together. I mean, if you get it going, I guess. We found a replacement bolt and nut, but now we needed to get the sway bar in position that we could feed the bolt through. Nah. The trick is to use the winch. Put that underneath onto the sway bar and just give it a also gentle tug. Bit more.
Bit more?
Tiny bit. That's it. Okay, we need a shackle. Just put enough pressure on that sway bar. Yeah.
Okay. I've got it in, and it's just up a teensy bit high, so I need to...
Scotty, can you jump on the front driver's side, or Mike on the bull bar, please? They're coming down.
No. Oh yeah, whoa, too much.
Oh, beauty.
1 second, almost there. Okay, you can breathe now, I have traction.
Wow, nice.
There we go.
Beauty.
Really didn't have them at all.
They love the camera.
Yeah, they love the black, huh? Shit, yes.
They just love everything. They're so friendly.
This is it for episode 2. I hope you enjoyed it. Please don't forget to like, subscribe and share. In the next episode we will be tackling some of the harder dunes. Let's see how we all manage. Hey guys, all my videos are self-funded. And the advert revenue doesn't even cover 1 tank of fuel. So if you enjoy my videos, it would be greatly appreciated if you could support me on Patreon. This will also give you early access to most of my videos. Special thanks to Dan Wood from Waypoint Expeditions, who provided all the Madigan background information and a lot of the narration.